Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. So I've got a collective reading today. I'm going to say trigger warnings for potential loss. If anyone's experiencing a loss that could be in here. For others of you, there's some kind of like a separation or a parting of ways, like going in different directions. So I'll kind of get into that as I go. So as I start to talk about this reading, you'll kind of know if it's your reading or not. If it's not your reading, just leave it. It's for somebody else. If it feels like it's your story, just take anything that's helpful and just leave anything that you feel is like not your story or isn't helpful. And again, just kind of storytelling here. I don't know who it's for. I don't have anything particularly in mind. It's just these are the cards that came out and this is the story that wanted to be told, right? So we start off with the dragons. I was really drawn to the dragon deck. And what we have is this story about two dragons coming together. Now, this is the only card with two dragons on, and it's called Magic and Manifestation. So dragons may be, I'm sorry, I'm just adjusting slightly so I can see the camera, just in case you can hear me wriggling around. So yeah, the dragons may mean something to somebody specific, like dragon may be a motif, a spirit guide of yours. I did have a visual, I do have a dragon kind of that pops up into my consciousness sometimes as a way of my guides telling me a story. So there is this dragon energy that I connect with, but it was really looking very sorry for itself this week. It was kind of, its scales were very dry and kind of cracked, and it looked like like it hadn't been taking care of itself properly, like a bit malnourished. Just this really kind of like the dragon had been having a tough time was how it felt. So I don't know if that resonates with anybody. But yeah, I don't know, it came through, so I'm just going to mention it if anything comes up in the reading that I've kind of had intuitively. So what we have on this card though is like these two dragons coming together. Now, before I even started pulling cards, I had a very delicate energy that was my foot on my stool. That's why, if you heard that, a very delicate energy that I was kind of tapping into. It felt like an artist, which is really interesting, and I'll kind of come back to that. So somebody could be an artist, but I was really guided to a pencil, not a pen, a pencil. And so I had this kind of like sketching, like this sketching energy, like somebody sketches, but I do feel like they could be left-handed. I was really quite drawn to, I'm right-handed, and I was quite drawn to hold the pen like this. So you can see it's a very delicate way of holding the pencil. I'm one of these, I write like this. So it just felt very different to me, very elegant, very delicate. So this delicate energy. And with that, before even pulling any cards, I was getting this impression of almost like, if you're in kind of like a grassy area or a bit of woodland and you're kind of trying to get an animal to come to you, and you try to be very delicate, and you're like, like if it's a cat, or if it's like an I don't know, I was kind of getting a deer when I was getting the vision. So like what I'm getting is an energy of somebody who is kind of like this dragon energy, right? It's this almost like a king of wands, emperor type, a big, bold, I want to say masculine energy, but not necessarily. But this like normally the king of wands is like really kind of fiery and a big loud energy, a big powerful intimidating energy. And it's like whatever this energy is that I'm connecting with, it's trying to be softer, because the thing it wants to connect with is soft and gentle, like a deer or like a little bird. It's got this energy of like calming, being one thing, being this kind of dragon king of one's energy, but at the same time trying to soften and be delicate, like the thing that it's trying to encourage to come closer. Or it's like this energy of like, I don't want to startle it, I don't want to frighten it. And again, this energy of like not trying to scare or frighten or do any harm in any kind of way to the smaller thing, right? The more delicate thing. So that could be for somebody. It is coming through like a younger, kind of more vulnerable energy, especially with like this child energy and this bluebird energy here as well. So that's what I was getting already, kind of intuitively, this kind of like, you know, like maybe like breadcrumbing, like trying to get something to, you know, have you ever seen like I watch the Dodo and they do like a cat or dog rescue, right, where you know, there'll be like a wild like cat or dog, and it's hiding under cars, or you know, it's trying to get away, it's trying to get into like a safe space, so it crawls away into like a little hidey hole, and then the person has to try and befriend it. It's like the person's intentions are good, right? The person wants to get that creature and rescue it, and you know, give it a bath and give it some food and take it to the vet, and you know, look after it and make sure it's okay. But the other animals are like scared and frightened and timid, so what people have to do is like breadcrumb, right, like the timid creature out of, I'm getting cave, like out of the cave. You know, so it's that kind of softly energy. And then the cards are kind of showing it. So we have this meeting of these two dragons, right? And there's something about when these two dragons, magic and manifestation, come together, because the underlying card is balance. And it almost looked to me like when these, you know, like what's it called? Captain Planet, with our powers combined. Captain Planet. It's got that kind of energy to it. It's like when it's almost like sniffing each other out as well, you know, like getting to know each other, you know, like how dogs do, like they smell each other, right? It's like getting closer to each other, getting a bit more sure of, you know, like, do you see what I mean about the energy? It's like this, like smelling each other and like starting to trust each other, starting to be like, oh, are you my friend, you know, are you like me? But then it's like this, almost like a transformation or a reaction happens, and this energy comes together as kind of like a yin yang thing to become this new dragon, because you can see the kind of like yellowy flame here. It's kind of talking to me about like the purpley dragon and this kind of yellowy dragon, like combining. It's like symbiotic almost. So I'm not saying that two people, and you've got Soul Guardian here as well, which is really, really beautiful. That was coming through for Capricorn for the last couple of weeks. Like you have a spirit guide, you have somebody, you're not alone, you do have your higher self perhaps, or God, or an ancestor who's passed over, who's protecting you. It's like they can, like your energies can combine to have this transformation to be this new balanced creature. And it is balanced as well, so it's not that, because it's yin yang, it's like what am I saying? So it's like the King of Wands, right, this fiery character, very fiery, bold, kind of this leader, is actually changing their energy to be more like the timid creature, right? They are softening, they are becoming more elegant, they're becoming more gentle and compassionate and thoughtful of the other. So on the flip side of that as well, it's like this timid creature can perhaps learn something from the more bold creature. It's like, you know, drawing the timid creature out of its shell, saying it's okay to be loud, it's okay to be bold, it's okay to run around the park and have fun. So this kind of symbiotic relationship, it's like it is actually beneficial. It is actually, kind of makes me think as well, I'm saying symbiotic, it's making me think of what's his name? Eddie. I can't think what his name is now. It's like Spider-Man, but not. Hang on, I'll get there. It's hard to pull in when I'm channeling and when I'm in the reading. It's really hard to. It's like it's almost like flipping a different side of my brain and going into my own resources, like my own library. Oh, what's it called? I can't get it. I'm gonna have to stay in the energy of the reading, but some of you will know what I mean. It's like Spider-Man. Venom, there we go, thank you, Venom, which is really interesting because I kept on getting poison, like poison. So obviously don't drink poison or anything like that. There could be something with Romeo and Juliet as well. That was kind of coming through over here. So obviously don't do that. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. The poison though, or the toxin, when it comes through in a reading, is more to do with like you know, the dark parts of ourselves, the parts that we need to purge. I was kind of getting Purge the Poison by Marina as well the other day. It's like the parts of ourselves that are toxic, the parts of ourselves that are conditioned by our experiences of the world, and we kind of need to shake those cycles of behavior. So it could be like Purge the Poison, like dragon. So it could be things that you're like addicted to. That's kind of like a side message for somebody. Okay. sorry, again, channeling, it can take me off in different directions. Birds fly in different directions. Okay, they've brought me back around to the reading. So like these two energies coming together and combining, and then you see this here as well with this card here, Ghostlands. It's like there's two doorways and there's these two birds, right? The bluebird and the eagle. So again, we have this like big bird of prey, which is symbiotic, it's coming out again, symbolistic of the dragon energy or the King of Wands energy. I normally associate it with air signs, so for example Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, you know, because it's eagle, and has that higher perspective. So I would normally associate it with air, but today it's coming through with this like dragon, right? So it's like this bird of prey, right? This big powerful impressive creature, and then there's this little bluebird. So the bluebird to me is talking about like the timid creature, right? Again, it could be symbolizing a child, or like, because like robins as well can be like something that's passed over. So maybe somebody trying to draw in a spirit, or like a spirit of a child, you know, like, come closer, I'm not going to hurt you. You know, if you think your house is haunted, it's like, I think this is a child, I need to get them to show themselves, but I need to do it gently. Again, it's a general reading, so there's going to be different messages in for everybody. Not everything is going to be for everybody, but some of this may be resonating, some of it may not be. Either way, this reading is kind of centralizes around these two figures coming together. And again, it's like, although this is a bird of prey, right, the King of Wands energy, the savior energy almost, is like, it is powerful, it is scary, it does have talons, it does have a, you know, it is a bird of prey, right? It's like, it doesn't necessarily intend any harm to the bluebird, because the eagle is, you know, it has certain animals that it's going to go for, like mice and voles and things like this. It's not necessarily going to go after, it's not, you know, necessarily a predator of the bluebird. So although it has this capacity to do harm, that's not its intention to the bluebird. Does that make any sense? There's a benefit to this relationship, I want to say. So yeah, we have this again, happiness and freedom with the bluebird and the eagle spirit. Right, what next? So this seems to be this kind of like frozen energy. Again, it can be like, you know, like frozen in fear, or something about this relationship where there's this grinding to a halt, or this, it could be ghosting, right? This could be symbolizing two people who are like ghosting each other, perhaps through fear or through mistrust, or because they're different, or something like this. It just seems to be like a standoff or a stagnancy point. Sorry, my nails are a bit messy. I was working yesterday, so I haven't, they're still a bit mucky. Yeah, so it's like this, there's some kind of like timing factor. So I'm seeing this in this card, and this card here, patience and spirit of place. Especially if you look at these two cards, she's kind of, it's almost like somebody who's part of the furniture, right? They've been stood there for so long that they're starting to like, again, this kind of almost symbiotic, like they are part of the trees, they are part of their environment, because there's been so much stagnancy, because they've been sat there for so long. Okay, my guides are really funny, and they've got a toilet sense, like literally toilet humor, and they're showing me, I once watched a news video about a man who spent so much time on the toilet that he actually fused to the toilet, and they had to get the firemen to come and rescue him. So my guides are making a joke, but I thought I'd share it, because they, you know, somebody could be a fireman, right? This could be a reason why they're getting me to say that. But yeah, it's like, been there so long that they're part of the environment now, they're part of the furniture. So, and again, like the spirit of place, so it's almost like going for a walk in the woods and thinking, I sense an energy here, I sense, I mean, it could be a literal animal, right? Going out for a walk in the woods and finding a, you know, a lost kitten and trying to draw it out. Or it could be like going for a walk in the woods and just feeling like a presence, right? And maybe in a particular spot. I do this when I go for a walk in the woods. There's specific spots where I think there's definitely a presence here. I feel it every time, right? But it's like, maybe it's like a child or it's nervous and you're trying to draw it out. But whatever it is, like patience and ghost lands, it's like there's a timing factor here. There's something that, again, even this card here, mountain underneath, right? It's like there's, it's part of the environment, I want to say. But yeah, patience, timing is a factor. Something like almost like a standoff or a checkmate or a stalemate within the energy. I don't necessarily think it's between these two people, but there's something about the energy that's kind of this stalemate energy. The bluebird, again, it could be symbolizing a child, because it's a young, playful energy, happiness, this bluebird spirit. And it does talk to me about like robins, right? When you see a robin, it's said to be a sign, or bluebirds could be specifically for somebody, but it has got this red breast, right? So it's like, it could be a sign, like when you see the robin, it's a sign that that person's there, or it's a sign that, you know, your spirits are looking after your children. It could be something like that. I asked for this today with my son. He was late for school, so he had to go around kind of like the back way rather than me seeing him go in. He kind of had to go around the back way. So I was asking my mum and my uncle and my granddad and my granny, I was like, can you just make sure my son's okay, like while he walks around the back? And I saw him kind of like come out the other end and go into his classroom, because there's kind of like a gap between the buildings, so I did see that he was safe. But it was like, while I can't be there for him, can you watch over him? So it could be something like that as well. Again, this eagle spirit, like watch over the situation. So there is some kind of transformation that happens here. There's some kind of, it's like a it's like a lightning strike is the way it's coming through. It's like a thunderbolt, something hits. But when it hits, it creates this transformation. So if you look closely, and this symbolism keeps coming out in my readings at the moment, it's really interesting how it keeps coming out together. And again, I didn't create these cards in this order. This is the order that they chose to come out. So these two cards that came out right next to each other with this meeting, right? This meeting between these two energies, also comes out with again with this transformation. Like when these energies meet, a transformation takes place and creates this balance, right? This soul guardian energy. So here we have this transformation taking place. When these two meet, we have this unicorn energy, right? It's like the unicorn's minding its own business, just grazing in the field, doing its own thing. And then this, like, I'm hearing collaboration, but it's like a collision. Like a collision happens, it kind of awakens something, and then all of a sudden it's this unicorn becomes a Pegasus. Now the unicorn and the Pegasus have been together a lot through my readings. It originally came out in a Libra reading 2 weeks ago, and then it's a reoccurring motif through all the readings. So there's something to this white horse Pegasus unicorn energy. It's like, again, it's like a transformation. It's suddenly, right, the way it's coming through is like, it's like something that happened when you were a child, something that you used to do when you were a child. Suddenly, it's almost like a tower moment, or an ace of swords moment. It's like suddenly this thing awakens in you again. It's got this energy of like, oh, I remember now, I can fly, kind of thing. Like, you know, I know that sounds silly, but that's the energy of the cards. Like, I remember this, I did this, I've done this before, I've flown before, is the way it's coming through. So it's like, because if you look at this card here where she's kind of like spinning her around, it's like when, you know, a parent grabs a small child and they spin them around, and it's like, you're flying, you know. It's like, I remember this, I remember. So even though the child didn't actually fly, they had that sensation, right? They had that that feeling of flying, that sensation of flying, you know, like the imagination of what it would feel like to be able to fly. And it's like this impact happens with this wildness and electricity, and it's like this thing, it's like a light bulb moment or something waking up inside, wake me up inside, right? And it's like, I remember this, I remember what this feels like, I remember the freedom, you know, how free this feels, how amazing this feels. So it's maybe like dreams of flying, right? We could be talking about astral projection here. I remember what it feels like for my soul to leave my body. I remember what it feels like for my spirit to go on a wild adventure. Like, I remember, do you have those dreams of flying? I had one once where I was an eagle, and I lived with, I think it was like a fox. It might have been like a fox and a wolf or something. There was three of us. And there does seem to be something about three as well. I keep getting songs like When Will We Three Meet Again, like Wolf Alice, and there's another song as well that has this like three energy to it. I feel like it could have been Florence and the Machine. The old friends, do do do. What is it? I can see no way, I can see no way. And so I'm just running through it to get the name of the song, because I won't remember to write it down. So if I say it now, you guys can remember, right? It's hard to dance with the devil on your back, so shake him off, right? So that's When Will We Three Meet Again kind of thing. I had this dream once where I was an eagle, and there was like, I think it was like a fox and a dog, or a fox and a wolf, and maybe another bird. I can't actually remember. But we were like these wild animals, but we lived with a young married couple, and the young married couple were pregnant, and we were wild animals, right? And we were like, oh, we need to go and get them a gift, like to say, yay, congratulations on your pregnancy. So me and these other wild animals I remember, it was such a vivid dream, and I am a very, very vivid visual kind of like a feeling and everything, like color and feeling and a sensation, like very, very vivid dreams. And so I had this dream that I was flying across like some fields and the trees going under me, and looking down and seeing like I can remember the fox quite clearly, like the fox running beneath me. And it was a very uplifting dream, right? Me and this fox were friends. So it could have that sort of feeling like soul tribe, soul family, your spirit guardians coming to greet you, to take you perhaps on dream adventures, and but not wanting to frighten you, right? Not wanting to be like not wanting to freak you out, like, oh my God, I've got a ghost in my house, It's like they're trying to do it gently. They're trying to breadcrumb you into this with very good intentions. I want to say there's this kind of care or rescue energy coming from them, right? It's tender. So yeah, it comes through with this. I remember what this feels like. It could be something like, when, like, if you're a kid and your parents are spinning you around and you like that sensation of being like, dizzy and flying around everywhere, like your body feeling light, right? And then perhaps going on like, those roller coasters that make you feel like you're flying. I can't remember what they're called. There's a famous one at Alton Towers, but it's like gives you this sensation of flying. So it's like trying to recreate that sensation, or having an experience that reminds you of a childhood experience. So it is coming through. The clarifier for Bluebird Spirit is remember the happiness, remember that moment in your childhood, remember those connections, remember those people who were around you who could potentially be in spirit form now. It's like they are still around you. Remember them, remember the happy moments. So if you've lost someone as well, it's like focus on the happy moments, not the loss. Focus on the good times, the good memories, the experiences that you had with that person. Be thankful that that person was in your life. Don't focus too heavily on the pain of losing them, right? Focus on the good times. It's better to have loved and lost than to have never had that experience at all, because that experience is beautiful. So then you've got this wildness and electricity, and I was like, what is this? What is this light inside? Like, to me, it's always the soul. Like, a light coming from the center of the chest is very, very symbolic of the soul for me. So it can be releasing your authentic nature, releasing your inner self, your higher self, allowing it to flourish, allowing it to bloom, or allowing your true self to shine through. And the freedom of doing that, the freedom that comes with being your authentic self and not trying to hide or bend or modify yourself at all to fit into any kind of situation. It's like, this is who I am. Accept me or leave me be, and this is really confirmed to me by the word diamond, which came through, because diamond to me always talks about, especially Libra, right? Because we've got balance here as well, so we could be dealing with Libra energy. I've got kind of Libra and Capricorn because of Soul Guardian, which was coming out for them. And look at that as well, freedom there underneath that too. Balance, Soul Guardian and freedom. And you've got this wildness and electricity and eagle spirit and freedom here, and destiny. So it feels pretty epic. I could just be channeling a TV show again. This does happen. But yeah, the diamond heart, it originally came through in a Libra reading. And I talk about it quite often. A lot of you will be familiar with this, but it really talks about shining a light through your own soul and being authentic and having lots of different facets, but also being transparent, right? So let it shine, right? Electricity, wildness, freedom. Like it just feels like this big release, but at the same time, like this big breath of fresh air, like, you know, like it's like school's out kind of energy. Or like getting out of work at the end of the day. I work in a hot kitchen, so sometimes it's such a relief to get out and just like be in the sunshine or be in the rain even, to kind of cool off. And so yeah, it's like walking through the woods and feeling this like breaking out of some kind of like stagnancy or frozen situation. Do you see? It's like suddenly so you also have this "you're not for everyone" card, like, and you're not, right? You again could be talking about Libra, because Libra tends to change their you know, Libra's the lump of clay, right? They adapt to fit different situations. They're a chameleon energy. Gemini too. So it's like, stop trying to please everybody and just be your true self, right? And find the freedom within that. So you're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness and face your true north, right? Face your destiny. We saw destiny there. Okay. So next we have this longing for home and homesick for the stars. There's a very up energy to this. You know, we've got all these flying animals, the dragons and the birds. You can see the stars in the background of this. It's almost like here as well, like you can see all these like little lights shining right around, you know, all these lights shining around the children or this experience. And then it's like this light shining from within. It's got this real astral projection or flying, you know, dreams of flying quality to it. It's got this real, my home is in the stars. It's funny because your clarifying letters are, I only got 3. I was only guided to get 3. You had why. So it could be somebody's asking why, right? Why me? Why is this happening? Why did this happen? Why am I here? What is the meaning of life, right? So something was just trying to make itself known with the numbers there. I'll come back to, yes, okay. And also E.T. I was kind of, so from this card here, like longing for home, homesick for the stars, I was kind of getting E.T. phone home, you know, E.T. phone home. And then E.T. came out, but it does spell out yet. There's something with the numbers that I'm just spotting now, and I noticed it before, but you've got 4 and 1 a lot. So 4, 1, 1, 1 here, 4 here, where else as well? I just kept seeing it. 1 and 4 here on Patience card. And then you've even got this Starry Night card. 40 there as well. Starry Night, acceptance. So again, if you've lost somebody, yeah, look, healing as well. Look, acceptance and healing. So if you've lost someone, if you've had, oh, look at these gorgeous cards here. If you've lost someone, it's like there are people around you. Now, this could be spirit guides or people in your actual reality, right? Who are acting as healing, supportive influences around you. Healing, acceptance. And again, with this perseverance or like bearing it energy of the bear, right? This patience energy. Sorry, that's just really beautiful. It's kind of like, as I start to do the reading, I see more and more, oh my God, look at this card as well. Like I see more and more messages. It like the onion unravels, right? The onion peels. So look at this beautiful card as well, unexpected visitors. It's like here she is the child, right? But she's trying to draw out this rabbit. You know, it's like she's trying not to startle the rabbit. She's trying to get the rabbit to come out to her, kind of thing. So I'm 41 as well. Look, I cannot make this up. This is legitimately, like, I'm discovering this alongside of you right now. Okay. So maybe dig a little deeper. Dig a little deeper could be a message here as well. But this Starry Night and healing and magic and enlightenment under that too. There could be, again, I was getting that thing about holding the pencil, right? So somebody perhaps is an artist, perhaps somebody sketches. I was making a joke with one of my friends this morning as well about paint me like one of your French girls, right? Like, so that could definitely be a factor. Now, I don't know if this is you, or perhaps like the spirit guide or the ancestor or the energy that you're connecting with is an artist, right? The creator, if you want to call it the creator, right? So Starry Night and acceptance is like accepting things as the way they are, not trying to control situations, not trying to control, or not trying to change the past because you can't, right? Not trying to control the future, but accepting a situation for what it is. This is how it is, right? And at the same time, because I pulled these cards last night and I kind of went to bed with them, and I was thinking about this Starry Night card, and I ended up Googling just Van Gogh popped into my head, because in one of my readings I had Starry Starry Night, the song, right? Starry Starry Night, paint your palette blue and grey, which is a song I used to sing in choir, which I think is quite a famous song actually. I don't know if it's like Don Henley or somebody. Yeah, a famous song about Vincent van Gogh, and of course he painted Starry Night. So it could be accepting, maybe accepting somebody's illness, you know, maybe accepting somebody's passing, which, if the circumstances were similar to Van Gogh, it could be very difficult to accept that kind of passing, because you know, there may be a lot of whys hung around that. So sorry, my terminology, sometimes things come out, but it could be meaningful to somebody. So I kind of want to move on from this because it's not going to be for everybody, but if that's your situation, obviously you'll know that, right? But the message coming through the cards is acceptance, letting it be, you know, let it be now, let it be, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. You're getting oldie songs now. And again, I pulled the cards last night, but this morning is when I pulled the letters and the clarifying words, and it came out with daffodil. Now, I think he does mention daffodils in that song, Starry Night by Don whoever. I think he says like paint your palette, he's talking about the landscape and the daffodils. So it does seem to definitely be like, yes, it is something about Van Gogh, or the situation is like Van Gogh, or this person likes Van Gogh. It seems to be like, yes, confirmation of that. Okay, I'm just gonna need to drink a quick sip of water because my throat's getting sore, but I will be back in a second. Okay, so I hope, again, trigger warning, I hope you've got your box of tissues handy, because this is where we're going to kind of get into it a little bit more. So longing for home, homesick for the stars. It's like, it could be talking about somebody who's gone before you, right? Somebody who's maybe an untimely death, or maybe you know, somebody was very close to. If this is somebody who's passed over, because for other people it could just be going in separate directions, like in work or something, right? It's like, I'm going to go on this project, you're going to go on that project. It could be something like that. But I'm not going to shy away, because this is actually the death card in this deck, right? Transformation it's called, which is beautiful. But I'm not going to shy away from talking about experiences that everyone has to experience death in their life, right? Death and life, they're two sides of the same coin. So I am not going to talk about people's lives and shy away from the fact that we lose people. I don't think we should do that. I think we should talk openly about loss and grief, and not bottle it away, because I think it's healthier to have these discussions and not be scared of it, right? And not be scared of it's difficult, because sometimes if you're experiencing grief, you don't want to, it's like, when do I talk about it? Because, you know, maybe you're working with people or you're out having drinks with people. It's like, you don't want to bring this kind of doom and gloom into the situation, right? But it doesn't have to be doom and gloom. It can be uplifting. So something around the way that people talk about death and not shying away from it, right? Although it can trigger people, although it can be a very touchy subject, you know, it's beneficial and it's helpful to hear other people talk about their experiences, and it's cathartic, right? You have to uncork it, you have to let these things out, and that is honestly the main message coming through in this part of the reading. Yes, phone, I know you agree with me. I know I'm on the right track. Thank you for that confirmation from the universe. So I think that there could be, again with this questioning why, um, there could be, it says longing for home, longing for the stars, but it could just be longing for that person that you were close to, right? Longing for that connection. Again, it could be for some of you astral projection, right? But for those of you who have lost someone, a message coming through right quite strongly here in this card that at first it really didn't fit in. At first it felt really like it was in the wrong place in the reading, or again it could be like an untimely death. It's like the sky's the wrong color. There was something about it where it's like, is this really the right card to be here? But then I started to notice all this orange color, and I was like, it does actually fit in with all this like reddy orange, right? This, it's kind of like a pinkish reddish orange that's coming through. So it says Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. So, and this is clarified by above, which could be symbolic for somebody, but it's like the stars above, the sky above, right? This starry night, longing for the stars energy that seems to be coming through here. It's like looking to the sky to save me, that kind of energy as well. It's like looking up, looking at the stars, thinking, are you out there? Are you still here? Can you hear me? But the anger could be, because I'm getting something here as well. The anger could be because perhaps it was untimely, or because perhaps there was a situation around whatever this relationship, right? Whatever conditions are. So really, to generalize, whatever this relationship is where people have gone separate ways, it could be that it was on bad terms, or it could be, again with Van Gogh, there could be mental health, or a situation involved where I want to say the person that this reading is for, which seems to be actually the more dominant masculine energy, the kind of king of fire energy. Again, king of fire, it's fire and wands is like an anger energy. So it's like, why did you leave? Why did you leave me here alone? Why did you do this? Like, why didn't you just talk to me? Why? Anger at the self. Why didn't I do more? Why didn't I check on that person? Why didn't I take them to the doctor, or make them go to the doctor earlier? It's like this anger that seems to be attached to whatever this relationship is, where the actual connection itself seems to be very, very positive, right? Like the connection itself is almost like this inner child energy, or this trying to help energy, or this I mean, it could be somebody that you grew up with, like somebody you knew from childhood, like a childhood friend or a sibling. It's like I don't know, it could be a lot of different things. There's different ages on there, but it's this nose to nose energy, right? Beak to beak energy. And yeah, and even if it wasn't, even if this was accidental, it does feel like it's untimely, right? It's like, why did you, there's anger that this person's carrying, this King of Wands, right? But the message is soften, like let it go, release that, and focus on the happiness. Remember the happiness, remember the childhood, remember the innocent times. So, and remember when you were little, right? Little here. So you have this energy of protect your dreams, and look at this protection again, nature's signs as well. Like there's all this stuff. So again, like I know I was really affected by a Capricorn reading that they've been getting these messages of a lot of like, you have got a soul guardian, you have got somebody on the other side, or you know, somebody in the heavens, you know, and if maybe even an alien for some of you. I don't know what you all believe in, but it's like you have got this presence, you have got this soul guardian, like it is protecting you, right? And perhaps this person is free now. It was this person's destiny. Perhaps they are at peace, right? They're at peace. This was their destiny. You know, they are protecting you. I'm hearing spirit warrior. So then again here with this thing like close to your chest, like you are the guardian, right? Guardian energy. It really does have like, you know, like again, this energy of like when you're trying to get like a scared animal out, like, and trying to draw them out. It's like you are the guardian of that more vulnerable creature, because you are powerful, you are fierce, right? You have that power and authority to take something that needs that protection, something that is vulnerable and scared, right? You are the guardian of your precious dreams, then, and they are safe in your care. Keep them close to your heart until you're ready to release them. So the release them was really, really standing out to me as this releasing. It's like, keep this person close to your heart until you're ready to release them. It's like, till you're ready to release the anger, till you're ready to release, like, to let go of the very strong feelings that, you know, perhaps somebody's trying to work through still. This was clarified by a lot of songs about people going in different directions. Literally, you had birds flying different directions, and I'm not making this up. These are the songs that were coming out to clarify this reading. So Imagine Dragons as well, right? Birds flying different directions. I hope to see you again. And Your Words by I'm getting a lot of emotion now. Your Words by Tori Kelly as well. I just wish I could hear your words right now. I really need your words right now, you know? It's like, I wish I could talk to you. I wish you could give me some advice right now. I really need it in this moment. So that song gets me because it reminds me of my granddad. Every time I hear it, it reminds me of, I had to skip it the other day in work because I was like, it's going to make me cry. It also came through with Miss Atomic Bomb by The Killers, so I don't know if that means anything to anybody. There was another song as well that I didn't write down, but it was like Halsey and what's his name? I'll try and remember to put it in the description box below. Machine Gun Kelly. There's a song. So for some of you, it's like a sexual relationship. Not everybody. I'm kind of getting like siblings or brothers or something for most of you, but for some of you, it could be like you know, an ex, like a childhood, like, you know, like again, I mentioned Romeo and Juliet, like a really intense but toxic relationship with somebody from school, right? Or somebody from your teenage or young adult years that perhaps was lost, right? Perhaps this person was taken prematurely or did leave prematurely. And it's, perhaps there's a lot of unanswered questions around that, a lot of pain. But again, it's, you've got this release energy, drop it, lighten the load, transform the situation, or transform perhaps the way you handle this situation, perhaps transform your memories from the why and from the pain and from the difficulty in letting go. Because again, she's releasing it, right? She's opened her hand and she's letting this, she's not trying to grab it. This creature's like almost blowing away with the wind. It's like this acceptance of life and death, you know? The trees lose their leaves, but then they grow, you know, they grow them again. There's a cycle here. So again, with this beautiful imagery here of like, this is like moving on. It's like moving forward, moving on, but it's such a beautiful, gentle energy with it of, well, it's not actually, do you know, I was reading it as I was reading it as the Six of Swords, is it? Which is a card about moving to calmer waters, but it's not. It's the Six of Fire. It's the Six of Wands. It's success. It's success, like successful transformation. And the way I'm seeing it, especially with this card here, can you see like the two ships? Like two ships in the night, perhaps? Birds flying different directions. The two ships that, I mean, normally I read this as like collecting the orbs, but it's almost like letting the orbs go. A little bit like, you know, Tangled. They let the lanterns fly to remember people, right? It's like, let the lanterns fly, let the memories fly, release this to the sky, to the stars, to trust in the spirit guides, trust in the afterlife, you know, trust in destiny. It's like lightening the load, unburdening, releasing something, release your dreams. Perhaps somebody is disappointed because they had dreams, they had plans, and this other, it didn't carry out. So again, it doesn't mean that this person's necessarily in the afterlife. Sorry, my tummy's rumbling a bit. It could be that you just cannot be with this person at this time. You know, life is taking you in different directions. So I don't know, something very warm and beautiful. And again, you've got like acceptance, right? It's like bittersweet. It's perhaps the bittersweetness, but it's warm, like, because the focus perhaps shifts from releasing the anger and the conflict and softening to love, and softening, being reminded of the happy memories, right? The happiness, the good times, the childhood, like refocusing on the good things, and perhaps being able to do that because I don't know, remembering this person, like, especially if this person has had some mental health problems or addictions, or, you know, things that perhaps made them behave in an uncharacteristic way later in life, perhaps remembering them when they were little and they had that freedom and of being a happy child, right? Being innocent and being pure. It's like, remember them before. Maybe this is a message from that person saying, this is how I want to be remembered, right? I don't want to be remembered for the pain and the anger and the conflicts. I want to be remembered for when we used to spin each other around like children. So it's, I don't know, it's a nice reading. I think it's cathartic. I think it's healthy. And also this message of perhaps specifically, and again, I don't want to manipulate anyone, but specifically if this is reading is like, you know, fire on all cylinders, yes, 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 this is 100% my reading, everything's resonating. My person was an artist, my person was like Mango, like, I don't know, it seems to be a specific message coming through that card. You know, bluebird specifically could mean something. It's like unicorns and Pegasus. It's like confirmation. So if you've been looking for that, especially if you've been trying to draw them out, right, you've been trying to get them to show you signs or visit you, you know, perhaps this is their way of communicating through this reading. Perhaps they are saying, I am here, you know, I am a protector for you now. I am, you know, I am protecting you. You've got protection, got all this protection and healing energy. Like, I'm healing, right? I'm healing. I'm protecting you spiritually. I am free now. Like, you know, this is was my destiny. I am free. I am happy. My soul is above, you know? It's, perhaps somebody needs to hear that. I don't know. I don't want to manipulate anyone, you know? I don't want to be like, that's not why I'm doing this reading. I'm doing this reading because I'm reading the cards, because I feel like there's something to this, right? There's something to the cards. There are messages that come through the cards. I know, because I get messages from my loved ones. And hypothetically speaking, even if, because this is me and this is my own doubts and my own, me coming to terms with, are the messages coming through from the afterlife, like my own kind of, not disbelief, but looking for that confirmation energy. Even though I've had the confirmation, I still need that confirmation, right? It's like, I don't know, I just don't want to be seen to be manipulating anyone, because that's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to, like, it doesn't matter to me if I get one reading, one view, 4 views. I just hope that, you know, if this reading touches one person, and whether it's just a story or whether there's something to it, and I do believe there's something to it, like, if it's just enough for them to even just get something out emotionally, even just let themselves cry, or even just give them something to think about, you know, if there's something that somebody can take away from this reading that on some level is helpful and healing, as long as this reading does more good than harm, then it's worth doing, I think. So I don't know. So overview, this 2 energies coming together, this vulnerable energy and this more fierce energy, but it's coming through with this feeling of protection, like this transformation. I remember doing this. I remember now that I can fly. You know, I remember, you know, perhaps like upon the point of your soul leaving your body, you know, I remember that I come from the stars. I remember that I'm something more than this earthly body. It could be something like that. You know, talking about like birth and transformation. Like it's a transformation of energy. It's just a different form, because there does seem to be this sudden transformation from this unicorn of the earth to this Pegasus that can fly, you know. And I think there's a big message here as well, though, with like patience, you know, about the right time, and not with longing for home as well. And patience is like, it's not your time yet, you know. The universe will decide when it's your time. It's not your time yet. Don't rush, right? It's like you have more to do while you're here, for the person who's on this side. But I do think you could potentially either be dreaming of this person a lot, or hoping to see this person in your dreams, and perhaps not, perhaps an energy of like, where are they? You know, I'm here, I'm showing up, I'm meditating, I'm trying to connect. But perhaps it's, you know, especially with like the Cancer card shown here, the Chariot card, it's a card about Cancer's an energy that grips, right? It holds on too tight. And you've got all these other energies about freedom. So it's like holding on too tight to something that is enjoying its freedom, perhaps. Because perhaps this energy is like, I can go anywhere now. I can do all these things. I can be a bird. I can be a, you know, perhaps they're playing. I don't know what happens when after, you know, perhaps they're playing around with like different forms, you know, like being able to, it's like having a dream where you can actively dream. It's like, I can do anything. I can do anything. I can be anyone, right? And then this other energy is almost like trying to bring that energy back in or back down to earth. It's like, I'm exploring, let me explore, you know. So it could be, where is this person? It's like they are here, just there's something about releasing and almost like giving it up to the stars, like giving it, I don't know, especially if you're carrying anger as well. It's like really work to release that anger and soften, right? Soften to love, soften to the happy memories. I really hope this was helpful to somebody. Let me just run through my notes and just check I've got everything. Smelling each other. Lion and lamb. A place triggering a memory, perhaps with that spirit of place. It could be a specific place triggers a memory for you. Again, perhaps of a past life or something. American by Lana Del Rey. You make me crazy, you make me wild, you spin me around like a child, came through. Suddenly remembering what it feels like to fly. I did this when I was a child. Something you've been dreaming about. Jolt, catalyst for change. Frozen in time, fixed patience, transformation, picking up the pieces. Yeah, it could be, again, picking up the pieces after somebody's left, you know, sorting out what they've left behind. You will return home, but like there's a timing factor. So reassurance, like you are accepted, you will meet again, right? But again, this when will we three meet again? It's like, you will meet again. Don't rush it, right? Not yet, perhaps. Accepting guardian of dreams until you're ready to release and transformation, release something, let it go, something bigger on the horizon. Yeah. So it's like there's something else, like there's a reason why you're here, right? There's a reason why you're being asked to drop some of this emotional baggage, right? The pain and the anger, like the Mars energy, like drop that, let those things go, release them. It's like, because that you're headed somewhere else. Like this big ball is like, there's something on the horizon for you. There's something else that you're moving towards. So like, it doesn't mean you have to forget this person, because you are being told hold on to the happy memories, but it's like lighten your load, because there's another purpose, there's another destiny, there's something else that you're heading towards, right? So like prepare for that. Okay, I think that's all my notes. So I'm glad I remembered that Lana Del Rey song because it was really cute. You spin me round like a child. Your skin so golden brown. I'm gonna randomize you a couple of songs now. I'm gonna do it slightly off camera, like just to kind of show you again, like your words is what was. Oh my god, right, I want to kind of show you. I just don't want you to see any like random messages that I might get. So here he's actually, again, it's like, I don't know if it's about her dad or her granddad, but look, he's actually lifting her up, you know, like this, like this. It's, you can't make it up, guys, like genuinely. Like, this was a random song. It's the last song that I was listening to before I started your reading. Right, okay, so we want this moment, please, in this reading. We want the Ace of Swords moment, the Tower moment, the light bulb moment. We want the catalyst, please. Can I have a song for the catalyst? So you've got Don't Get Me Wrong by the Pretenders. Don't get me wrong if I'm looking kind of dazzled. I see neon lights every time you walk by. Don't get me wrong if I say hello, if you say hello and I take a ride upon a sea where the mystic moon is playing havoc with the tide. Oh, don't get me wrong if I'm acting, so maybe, yeah, maybe somebody's ghosted you. Don't get me wrong if I'm acting so distracted. I'm getting head to toe goosebumps. I'm thinking about the fireworks that go off when you smile. Don't get me wrong if I split like the light refracted. I'm only off to wander across the moonlit. Maybe somebody has this effect on you. Maybe, you know, once in a while two people meet, seemingly for no reason. They just pass on the street. Suddenly thunder showers everywhere. Who can explain the thunder and the rain, but there's something in the air. Don't get me wrong if I come and go like fashion. I may be great tomorrow, but hopeless yesterday. Don't get me wrong if I fall in the mode of fashion. It might be unbelievable, but let's not say so long. It might just be fantastic. Don't get me wrong. I do have this feeling of like, because I was quite confused because we had this like meeting energy, like we meet again, perhaps. Look at all these, like, it's almost like, because it's like this meeting again, but then this letting go, like birds fly in different directions, but this coming together. So I don't know if this is like, maybe like soul tribe that's come back around, like somebody from a past life, perhaps, that, you know, you left each other on bad terms, but they're meeting again in this life, or whether somebody's lost somebody, but they're meeting somebody new, or like meeting, like somebody would like, it's just kind of like that I know you energy kind of coming through there. So that's really, really cute. Like the kind of relationship where you meet somebody and then it's like they wake something up, again, wake me up inside, like they wake something up inside you where it's like, you know, like heaven's a place on earth, like heaven, you know, heaven's real with you here, baby, kind of thing. Like, I don't know, I hope that's the case. I hope people are experiencing that, because that's really nice. And then can I get advice, please? So, excuse me, sorry. Advice, please. Advice. Losing My Religion by REM. That is one of my favourite songs. Why is this one of my favourite songs? Because it's a really good song. Oh, life is bigger. It's bigger than you. And you are not me. The lengths that I will go to. The distance in your eyes. Oh no, I've said too much. I set it up. That's me in the corner. That's me in the spotlight. Which here, this is fame, right? Success, people cheering you on. That's me in the spotlight, losing my religion, trying to keep up with you, and I don't know if I can do it. Oh no, I've said too much. I haven't said enough. I thought that I heard you laughing. I thought that I heard you sing. I think I thought I saw you try. So again, it could be, because there were a couple of songs there that were playing that were about, I can feel your heartbeat, right? I can feel your heartbeat. Even that Halsey song, it's like, I taste blood when you bleed. So it could be a very strong soul connection where, you know, one person experiences something, the other person can feel it, right? In which case, if you're connected to somebody on that level, healing yourself will also heal that other person, because there's a balance, right? Yeah, and again, it's like, if you know, I thought that I heard you laughing, I thought that I heard you sing. I think I thought I saw you try. Every whisper of every waking hour, I'm choosing my confessions, trying to keep an eye on you, like a hurt, lost and blinded fool. Oh no, I've said too much, I set it up. Consider this. Consider this the hint of the century. Consider this the slip that brought me to my knees, failed. What if all these fantasies come flailing around? Now I've said too much. It was just a dream. Maybe it's not just a dream. I don't know. Maybe it's not just a dream. I love that song so much because I grew up in a pub and a guy used to sing it every week on karaoke and he was so good at it. And I always wondered who he was singing to, because it's a song about really having really strong feelings for somebody, but, you know, having all these fantasies, having all these dreams of someone and thinking that it's just a dream, right? Thinking that, what if I slip up? What if I tell this person how I feel? What if, like, but then it's like I set it up. I set it up that I would let it slip, right? There's so much to unravel with that song, and it's one of my favorite songs. So, I looked it up once, and on this site that I looked it up on, there was this comment from, I used to love this song because I was so in love with this woman, and I never told her. I thought she was out of my league, you know, all this kind of stuff. And he said, and then we met up like years later, and now we're together. And I don't know, that coming back around energy, right? Like, when will we meet again? Like, birds fly in different directions, but sometimes they're fated to come back around. So I don't know. I like this reading. I like this reading a lot. Should I get you an advice card? Going divine animals, because I kept on getting drawn to it throughout the reading. And I didn't use it because what I was actually seeing with these like white horses, there's a white horse in this deck, but for some reason it just felt too obvious to use it. So let's get you advice. Advice, please. No white horses, but we have got the deer. I'm getting like a feeling, like a sensation here, like a, I don't know what that is. Again, something about left-handedness. Well, I'm sad that the horse isn't here. I like it when I mention a card and then it actually comes out, and it didn't happen today, so right, fine. Let's have a look. Rhinoceros. Moderation. Seek moderation in all things. Find the middle path. Again, you've got, the reading starts with balance, right? Find the middle path. Not everything is an extreme choice of black versus white. Being passionate about something is positive, but to be obsessed may not be. Leave behind what you no longer need. Again, with this letting go, like releasing, getting rid of the clutter, whether it's emotional or literal, right? The magic of the rhino is a beautiful dance between strength, power, and moderation. This is an incredibly powerful animal, and yet it is balanced with calm and restraint. And then you've got deer, number 11. Again, any of these numbers could be meaningful, 32 and 11. I do like that I was mentioning a deer right at the start of the reading, and now we've got a deer, like, yay. You are enough. You are worthy. Ethics are a part of building genuine personal power. Stand strong in front of bullies and hold your boundaries tenaciously. Be proud of what you have achieved, but humble in your outlook. Deer magic is all about personal power. When you feel powerless or small, imagine a stag with a crown of antlers standing by you, lending you its presence and strength. Deer energy is also great for healing a weak body and going on astral journeys, as the Norse did in Seder magic. I just to kind of briefly mention, I've talked about it in a few readings, I don't want to go into it too far, but I was getting this unicorn and Pegasus energy coming through, and so I did a meditation where I was purposefully like wanting more information on that figure. And I went into kind of this forest, and I didn't find the Pegasus or the unicorn, but what I did see was this stag, very similar to this, right? It's like a Patronus. So this stag was in the forest, and it led me on this whole kind of mind journey. So yeah, I feel like somebody may have some kind of like stag spirit guide. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to leave it there. I really hope this reading was helpful to somebody. It does feel like it's a particularly like really strong message of like healing and protection and guardians, and you are safe, you are loved, you have these energies around you, you are correct, right? But try not to search for this too strongly. Don't spend all your energy trying to connect or trying to find where this energy is. It's like you have other things to do. Again, with this great big orb coming in, right? It's like you have somewhere else to go. You have another purpose. So again, like birds may fly in different directions, but you know, you will see each other again, I want to say. When will we three meet again? Right, again, like when will we three meet again? It's kind of like this kind of group of witches energy. I'm going to leave it there. I do hope this reading was helpful. Please take care of yourselves and remember the happy times. Bye, friends.